This is how we ride. This is how we do.
What's been transpiring over the last month of time here in the late model world for you?
You know, we've been really busy and on the road a lot the last few months with the Lucas series, and Rick and Forrest and Charlotte Lucas and Jeremy Shields and Ashley Smalley, they've all been really good to me, and we've learned a lot there, and we needed a chance to be able to advance our careers and go, I'm 54 years old. At 60, I don't maybe necessarily want to be driving the truck up and down the road and doing that things, and it really just, I couldn't really find an avenue that I was going to be able to do that.
Was that the role over there? What was some of the stuff that you were...
Well, my role was technical director, and that's what I was hired for with the truck. I mean, it isn't like, it's just what I needed in my future changed. They didn't change my role. What I needed in my future changed.
Okay.
And, that's not their fault. That's my fault.
Right.
And we just, when we left, we didn't really have a clue what we were going to do. My parents have been in the car business. I've always looked at the car business. I've always enjoyed the car business. Kind of figured that was kind of where I was going to go and what I was going to do. And Brian Carter called me probably 24 to 48 hours after we turned in our resignations and said, I'd like to talk to you about it. And I said, well, we really don't want to talk about anything. We want to take a week or so here, evaluate a lot of things, and see exactly what we want to do. He said, okay, I'll call you next week. And he called me middle part of this week and said, here's what I'd like to do, and here's my vision of what I want to do. And I said, that sounds like a lot. I said, it's me and Amanda talked about it a day or so here and figure out, make sure we can make this work with our life and what we want to do. And we called him back and said this works for us. And he said, can you be at Cedar Lake on Friday? And that's basically the short story of it.
So basically, you were out with the Lucas deal, just personal decision, Lucas. You didn't know what you wanted to do. You just didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I just didn't want to continue to do that. We had spent basically we come home after I'd been on the road. I think it was right at 30 days, and we come home and here sits a boat in the garage that hadn't been out this year. Right. The pool, we ain't been in the pool this year. And we're like,
the late model world can keep you busy.
Yeah, well, this year's been exceptional for a lot of race teams have made a lot of money. If there was ever a year to do it, this was it, because there was a lot of damn money out there.
So are you putting a driver's suit on? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. My driving career, I got out of a car at Charlotte 5 years ago at the World Finals. I hadn't even sat in a car since that day until Marler wrecked at Winkler, and he said, can you drive this thing back? My back hurts. And I crawled in his car, and the floor pin was bent in the car, so we couldn't move the pedals, so I climbed back out of it. So that's the only car we've been set in the last 5 years.
What's your idea on the state of the late model world right now with all the different series and one-off races? What do you think the future of late model racing looks like? Obviously, the competition between each other is what's raising these purses, getting the drivers paid more. They're trying to attract the drivers. But what do you see as the outlook? Is it just going to be a bidding war forever? What do you think is the situation?
No, and it can't be a bidding war forever, because that is never a long-term future plan.
Right.
Yes, purses have went up greatly. They probably needed to go up greatly. Purses have went up greatly this year.
Probably could still go up a little bit more, but
I don't know that there definitely doesn't need to be any more to win on these events, but there does need to be some money in that, say, 5th to 15th place guy,
right,
where that, we keep the field. We need to figure out ways to keep, when you've got 45 cars here, the guy that runs 45th, he needs to be able to go home with $800 or something, some way, for B-main non-transfer guy. There needs to be a way, in my opinion, that the money needs to shift toward the back half of the field right now to make it a long-term deal where we don't have 24 guys that are traveling the country and become NASCAR. They were 40, whatever number NASCAR has that follows them now. We still need our 40 car fields.
Right.
And the only way you're going to sustain that is the 40th place guy has to at least be able to pay for his entry fee and his pit passes,
right,
or something like that. That is, everybody's going to have a bad day every once in a while. We know that. So, but that guy still has to eat that week. He has to buy tires for that race car that week. So somehow we need to get some money shifted toward that middle back half of the purse.
Right, and obviously the I guess you would call it promotional war between Lucas and the World Outlaws have been going on for a long time. It just seems you got the streaming services now coming in, because it seems like there is some money being decently made on the streaming side of this industry now.
Yeah, I don't really know much about what is made or isn't made on the streaming yet.
Well, you got two streaming services paying some pretty big damn payouts right now.
More than two. I mean, you know, I know this series has the bonus bucks. It's like $7,000 a night for, you know, and I know that's streaming money.
Right.
So, you know, there is a lot of money in the sport right now. There's more money than there's ever been in the sport. And you look through this pit area, there's a lot of young kids in race cars.
Right.
So that tells you that you have a long-term future of dirt late model racing.
Right. Well, and it's also going to determine what do teams start thinking about and seeing with the streaming, with everything, because that's how NASCAR went down the charter system, because the teams are taking cuts of the TV revenue. Our teams, top teams, going to start demanding the cuts of streaming revenue. You know, I mean, that's the next level of business in that industry.
It's hard to predict what the future will bring. You know, we can sit here with a crystal ball and say, oh, this would be perfect or that would be perfect, but economics and everything else that happened in the world sometimes change the perfect plans.
Right, that's true.
We don't know the diesel fuel ain't gonna be $9 a gallon next year.
Right.
We don't know that it's gonna be $1 a gallon next year.
Right.
You know, we don't know that a gallon of milk what it's gonna cost.
Right.
We don't know what a race tire or a race motor is gonna cost. Those are all things that again are gonna play into the sport and how much money can afford.
This is how we ride, this is how we do. Ride mud, slide